I'm seeing this post on Twitter, which is being pushed out to me by the algorithm, and I gotta say, it triggered me. It's from a Romanian compatriot. I guess, like, he's a little bit more progressive. It's not something that he did personally, like, it's not a personal issue here, it's the statement that he made, which triggers me. He claims that what he learned in schools in our country is Democracy 1, Democracy 2, Democracy 3, and then Romanian history and how neoliberalism saved us, that the economy is everything and poverty doesn't matter, that capitalism is good and communism is Satan. And this is where I get triggered. He's not exaggerating. He is absolutely exaggerating. He is lying. I don't know, like, what Romanian school has he been with, or maybe, like, the curriculum has changed dramatically since my generation. But most of it is bullshit. Like, first of all, we weren't taught that communism is Satan. Most of us from my generation actually experienced it for the first 4 years of our lives. Believe it or not, actually being in minus 20 degrees Celsius, with no heating in the house, leaves a very lasting impression on a child. So you don't really, like, most people don't remember what it's like the first few years of their life. Romanian children that grew under communism definitely remember. And if the trauma wasn't enough, you learn about why communism is Satan from your parents. Like, you learn how your parents were basically afraid to talk at work, or how they were afraid to talk about stuff in the house because the kid may hear it and he may actually parent it at school and get the parents in trouble. They remember the rationing. Like, communists didn't rationing on environmentalist measures, but they did ration nonetheless, and they tried to push less meat on the population, and they tried to promote soy in exchange, right, and a plant-based diet. So, again, you don't really need to learn in school. Like, I know, like, for most leftists, like, they believe human knowledge cannot possibly come from outside the institution. But I do believe that the knowledge that you get from your parents is actually more significant and powerful than literally anything that the school teaches you. And so, the second thing about Romanian history, we didn't learn about neoliberalism saving us. Most of it was feudal history. Most of it was pure, unadulterated garbage. I'm not saying that feudal history isn't important, but when you, like, live in 2026, learning most about voivodes and, like, people whose policies, like, don't have any impact in the present is kind of fucking retarded. But, like, there you go. And this is why most people were absolutely bored about history, because, like, you cannot connect it with anything that has to do with today. I will say this, though, you do get, like, a lot of Romanians having an absolute disdain and hatred towards empire and imperialism, except the Roman Empire for some reason. But the reality is that if you're being taught as a kid that every single empire around you wanted to fuck with you, and they killed your ancestors and they butchered everyone, and we're talking about the Ottoman Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Russian Empire, like every single neighbor that you had basically wanted a piece of the pie, and they were treating Romania like a place where they can extract wealth from, then yes, I guess you do end up with a generation of kids that are very suspicious towards Russians, they're very suspicious towards Muslims, they're very suspicious towards Hungarians, which I gotta say is not necessarily a bad thing, okay? But I think you can install this suspicion without, like, wasting more than 6 years of a young teenager's life. Now, look, I don't know what it's like in other places. Like, I don't know the type of history they teach in schools in the UK, in the US. Like, I understand in the US they have, like, an entire Black History Month, and in the United Kingdom, like, they obsessively focus on the Holocaust, and I understand, like, our government also wants us to obsessively focus on the Holocaust. But the reality is, like, most people from my generation were absolutely bored to death about history. Like, it was one of the subjects in schools that people didn't care about. And the only reason that I learned history is because I decided to learn about it outside of schools. And so, when it comes to, like, the entire Romanian schooling system, like, yeah, like, most of the shit that you learn is absolute garbage. Like, for example, trigonometry, or even like the history aspects that we learn, like most of it is not interesting. The geography, right? Like learning what type of volcanic rocks exist in Romania. Most of it is bullshit. And the reason it's a bullshit is because it's designed as a grift. Like the whole purpose is designed to keep people employed, right? Like you're basically employing a person to become a history teacher that's being paid out of taxpayer money, and you have to like fill his curriculum in order for him to have something to teach for an entire year. And a lot of the information there is absolute horseshit. Now, I will say that despite this, the school system actually produces intelligent people. Why? Because you constantly have to memorize and reproduce it, right? So, like, you have all of this useless information, as I mentioned before, like the type of volcanic rock that Romania produces, and you have to, like, memorize and classify them, and then at the exam, you have to reproduce and tell exactly what it is. And when you actually go to a university where the, well, quote-unquote, real education starts, and you start to, like, focus on a field that you actually like and want to work with, the training that you get in school in order to memorize things and reproduce them actually helps a lot at universities. And so this is why, like, the schooling system, I guess, like, has a saving grace. But the idea that people come out of the schooling system and they're anti-communist because, like, their teacher told them so, like, give me a fucking break. You know, most people from my generation had absolutely, like, no respect for the teacher whatsoever. And I think, like, that's absolutely a good thing. Because, like, people have more respect towards their families. You know, like, fuck institutions. Institutions are made by people that do not know you, do not care about you. Like, from the perspective of most teachers, you're just another face. You're just another number. You're just another work assignment for them, right? Like, they will never offer to you compassion, love, understanding, and genuine try to help you. And of course, there are exceptions, you know, like there may be like some teachers that are like that, or there may be like teachers that are like that, but have like a couple of students that they like. But all in all, yes, I do not think that a person's way of thinking and, you know, the way that they behave should be formed by the school. I think that the families are more important, and by family, I don't just mean mother and father. I mean like their cousins, second cousins, brothers, sisters, you know, aunts, uncles. Like the actual people that are genuinely invested in your well-being usually have a lot more to do with being interested in you growing up as a normal person than institutions have, which, again, are being paid by whomever happens to be in government at the time. So, yeah, hopefully you guys like this rant. It just got me triggered, and I just felt like talking about it. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.